J-Bot back for another video. Yeah, it's another rant, unfortunately, and it's to do with this. Now, quick question. If I hold it that way and try not to blind you with the fucking thing, and the right way round, can you spot the problem? Can you spot what's missing? No, didn't think you could. Not from there, anyway. By moving a bit closer to the camera, and this fucking thing is mirroring, which does not help. Yeah, you can see one of those things, if I can get on camera, is missing the ruby rivet. Yes, it went, well, it fell off or whatever, or it went walkies at the WWE Raw TV taping at the LG Arena that I went to back in November. And you're probably wondering, if that's just back in November, why are you only doing a rant about it now? Because it's only just been, well, it's not been resolved, but it's sort of been finished with. It's the best way to describe it. Yeah, basically on my way in, and really, well, no, yeah, on my way in, this got confiscated because even though it doesn't say anything about it on their website, the LG Arena will not let belts in for wrestling shows. I've been given in total about 4 different reasons. The first one, which is what I asked when it was confiscated, is because it's made of metal. You know, that's not an answer. That's, you know, very generalised. After the show, when I got it back and found out it was damaged, I tried to get another reason as to why it was confiscated on the way out. I didn't really discover about the damage until I was outside in better light to see. I knew there was something wrong with it when it was given back, because that rivet secures the plate to the plate to the leather belt, and I knew there was something wrong with it. I just didn't know what it was, and I looked when I sort of got outside under that lighting and realised, shit, it's missing. But I thought, oh, I'm going to deal with this in the morning now, because there's not going to be anyone I can speak to, being that there's about 18,000 fans exiting the arena at the time. But I was able to speak to them to find out, again, to try and find out why it was confiscated. The second reason, potential weapon, which arguably, yes, it could be, but then a mobile phone is a potential weapon. It's heavy enough to smack someone's head in with. It's not, you know, it's not really a reason. It's not a lethal weapon. Well, no. So eventually, after a few phone calls, I got an email with just a generalised excuse of health and safety, and that was about it, but admitting that there should have been something on the website and they'll sort it, which, considering that considering the amount of years they've had wrestling there, I don't see them actually holding up to that somehow, and there's a good reason probably why they won't, that I'll get to in a bit. But yeah, I should have really known. You know, it wasn't any surprise it getting confiscated though, because I had that happen the last time that I went there. Again, well, I didn't even check for information, but I wasn't expecting it, because I've been there about 4 times, you see. The previous time before that, I got in with the belt. Only difference was my 8-year-old nephew was holding the belt at the time. It wasn't this one, it's the ECW one, if you know what that looks like. So it's a little bit smaller, but anyway, he got in with it. They didn't confiscate it, funnily enough. And the time before that, that was actually the NIA Arena, which is owned by the same people, but there were people and there were belts. I saw them. I didn't have one that time. I didn't take one in with me that time. But yeah, so this isn't something new. It's something that they've been doing for a while, which I was hoping that they'd stopped. And in fact, at this time there were still people with children in there with belts. I don't know if they were plastic or metal, but they were the kids' version. Just my phone to go off. Fuck off the orange. Anyway, I was saying, yeah, lost my train of thought now. Shit. Always do that. Yeah, there were people in there with the... In fact, I'm sure that there was a couple of teenagers that had a full-sized spinner belt, but I don't know if that's a commemorative one, but still, you'd have thought they'd confiscate it anyway. And there was kids with the kid-sized version of these belts, which just means it's half scale. Still metal, still leather. So basically what you can determine from that is they don't have the balls to uphold their policies, or whoever's policies it is, when it means they have to take them off of children. Grow a set, your security people. You are trained to deal with that sort of shit. It may not be comfortable, but it's your fucking job. Right, so after I sorted that out with the reason as to why it was confiscated, I then had to ring back again to find out what I was supposed about the damage, because I had to speak to different people, and getting hold of someone was actually a pain in the ass because the arena is closed most of the time when there's nothing there. So because it's all owned that, the NEC Exhibition Centre and NIA and another place called the Academy, I think it's called the Academy, something like that. They're all owned by the same people, so finding out the right people to speak to is a pain in the fucking ass. So I rang up someone and they said we'll just get someone to have a look in the, and this is early November, sort of around, well, the show's the 5th and this was the 6th, so, and we'll see if the rivet and the screw are still about. They couldn't find it. Fair enough. So he said, would you email in so we have a paper trail to follow and we'll get it sorted. Fair enough. And I checked, just to cover my own arse, I checked it at the hotel I was staying at, the Hilton. I was fortunate to get a cheap room. Otherwise that can be expensive. I checked there. I checked my route back from the hotel, just to cover myself in case maybe it had fallen out and I hadn't noticed. But I remember thinking there was something wrong with this belt and checking it and thinking, shit, there's something, it's missing. But I was going to cover myself. So I emailed them when I get back. So this is Wednesday, so it probably was the 8th of November. Or thereabouts, or maybe before that. Didn't hear anything. So I thought I better chase this up. I may add, whilst I was sorting out the O2 business that I mentioned. So I rang them up again and was told, if I remember rightly, that we'd chase this up for you and get back to you. They didn't, so I had to ring up again, and eventually they found out the person in question who was supposed to be looking at it. And various times of chasing it up, because this person, by the end of this, notoriously did not get back to me and was giving various excuses. I'm not going to name him. I originally planned to name him, but I'm just not going to. We'll call him person A for now. So eventually, after chasing it up, I didn't get anywhere, because one of the phone calls I was told by him that he had to talk to person B about it, who I was originally also was told was looking into it. So I left it until I was up there around the 20th of November, when I was actually at the memorabilia convention, which is awesome if you've not been there. and I chased it up again then, and for some reason got put through to his mobile, and he wouldn't talk to me about why he was on his mobile, because he was at work. Well, it's not my fault if they're putting you through to that phone. That's, you know. So eventually he said he'd get back to me later on. Didn't. Rang him again. Was told he had to speak to person B, and he would get back to me. Gave him till Monday. Nope. Rang him again. I was told that they're talking to the insurance people, would get back to you. So I left this about a fortnight in the end. I meant to leave it a week, but with various things, it was a fortnight before I chased it up again. So this is around the 1st of December. Rang him again. Eventually, several tries of getting hold of him and him not getting back to me. He told me that he's sorry about that, he'll look into it, he'll get back to me. Didn't. Various phone calls again where I could not get hold of him. And eventually I ended up having to chase him up in the evening when he was actually at supervising at shows or whatever, and got a message from the, I think, yeah, it was the control board that I was talking to, control room, whatever, being told that he was having to speak to person B again. He'll get back to you. Didn't get back to me. Again, I had to chase him up, and by now this was Friday the what's the date today? Use my phone to check. Just the dates are quite important. Can't find my calendar now. So. Yeah, this was about Friday the 7th of December by now. So a week fucking about. Well, I was told he's going to get back to me. Again, eventually I got a message passed through to me when they talked to me on the walkie-talkie. He'd emailed the feedback people to email me back. Countless times I've given him my fucking email address and my fucking phone number for him not to get back to me, and then he passes it on to someone else to get back to me, which takes even longer. I wasn't impressed. I didn't hear anything from the feedback people. I tried to get hold of him again over that weekend. Could not get hold of him. I even left him a message on his answer phone on his mobile to get back to me. It wasn't nasty, but it was to the point, and I was pretty pissed off by then. Did not get, you know, I've not actually spoken to him on the phone since. You know, since early December, really. It's all been through messages and bullshit. So, I rang again Monday, and I asked to speak to someone in the feedback to try and track down the email. I also tried to get hold of person B as well, rather than person A. I hope I'm getting this the right way around, it's going to get confusing. To try and get his side of the story, because he'd already claimed it was nothing to do with him previously. So, anyway, they said they had an email from him but it made no sense. So they said, we will speak to him, we'll get back to you. So later that day he got back to me, and I was told, look, he's going to email you sometime. Fine, he emails me. And the message was along the lines of, I've spoken to the person that's at the vault off of you in the confiscation area, and they said it's not damaged, so we're not going to pay you any money. Right, which is why I did that thing at the start. At first glimpse, you wouldn't notice the freaking damage, so there's no way she would have noticed either way. I emailed him back again and explained this, I sent him the pictures again because I wasn't sure he'd seen the original pictures that I sent. I even did him a video pointing out the damage, pointing out how you wouldn't notice it at first sight. And it's not as if, you know, the damage is going to cost 35 quid to fix now. It could have been more than that. I found someone that did the rivets, otherwise it's a brand new freaking belt. And although it doesn't show it much, it's, you know, I know what it looks like. It would be annoying. And the fact it secures the belt. So I got a reply from him again, and he was saying that because they couldn't find the missing rivet, there's no evidence it was damaged by them. So I sent him another message saying, in all honesty, yes, you cannot prove it was damaged, you know, at the arena. On the other hand, you can't prove either that it wasn't. You can't prove it was damaged there, and you can't prove it wasn't. So, as a compromise, you know, can I not get some sort of partial compensation? Bearing in mind that, you know, this wouldn't have happened in the first place if there was information on the website, which of course they'd already admitted to not having the information there. And I get another email back saying that they were confiscated on request of the promoter, and that I would not get any compensation because I'd said myself they can't prove it was damaged. You know, completely missing the point. So I emailed him again and said again, you know, I said you can't prove it either way. Is there not a compromise? And in capital letters, I might add, just to prove that, you know, because I was getting pissed off by now. And my words were, and about being confiscated at the request of the promoter is a load of crap. I've been going to the O2 Arena with this same bout, and they've not confiscated it. 5 years. It's not at request of the fucking promoter by any stretch of the imagination. 5 years I've been going to the O2 and I've took this bout in. There's not been any problems. Staff there have seen it. The WWE staff have seen it. I've been in the fucking ring once because of a dance competition. That was quite hilarious and cool. They got to take a photo and so. And I got the biggest pop of the night. Of that thing, even though I didn't win because there was a little kid win. But yeah, so they saw it. Officials saw it. People high enough that should have known if it was supposed to be confiscated, seen it. So you know that was bullshit, to be quite honest. So he sent me another message and basically saying I will not get any sort of compensation. You didn't need to take that sort of tone with me. I will not be emailing back. Fine. Fuck you, person A. Or quite frankly, his initials at the BBC. Says a lot, doesn't it? Yeah, but person A, yeah, fuck you. At the moment in time, I am, you know, I'm giving Algerian a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, and I'm actually trying to find out for future reference whether it is actually the promoter that's saying they should be confiscated. But as far as I'm aware, you are the only arena in the freaking world well, you know, as far as I know, in the world that confiscates them. You are just a fucking useless person to get a hold of. You are basically avoiding me by the end of this, because I was having to chase this up on a daily basis because you could not get back to me, because you didn't have the balls to face me, basically. Because you probably knew, you know, this is the bit I don't get. He told me he was speaking to the insurance people, which pretty much means, yeah, they're going to pay out. And he comes up with this bullshit. What I think happens is, they're not insured for this sort of thing. They don't have proper insurance to cover this thing. So they can't pay me, and he's trying to cover his arse. Because the excuse has changed several times, and he's now trying to push it all away from the LG Arena. That's what I think's happened. And whether I should have taken the tone with him that I should have, maybe I shouldn't, but I was pissed off with him, you know, talking bullshit. Or what I think is bullshit. Which I'm 99% sure is bullshit. If you aren't insured to pay me, come up frickin' tell me. As far as I'm concerned, it was confiscated for no good reason. You damaged it, you should have bloody paid for it, but now I've got to pay for it. Fair enough. At least it will get fixed. But it shouldn't have taken a month to get back to me. You know, Algae Arena, you are fucking useless. Unless there's a reason for me to go there again, which quite frankly, at the moment, looking at the seating plan for the SmackDown house show you've got there in April, there's absolutely no reason for me to go now, because the one thing that would have kept me going, which is the disabled block in front of the front row, which was a good idea, has gone. There's no need for me to actually come back there for this sort of bullshit, so fuck you. Unless there's a reason for me to come back there, I am not going back there. I will stick with O2, which, you know, they, as I've said before in a previous video, you know, they aren't much better, but at least I know my shit's not going to get damaged. My belt is not going to get damaged when I'm there. I might get shit tickets and have to spend a lot of time sorting it out, and from the way things like this might not even be guaranteed to get a fucking ticket. The way their new system works. But yeah, it's a fucking better option than fucking Algae Arena. Anyway, that is it for this video. I tried to keep this sort of as calm as possible. We'll be back. Probably not this side of Christmas, because I'm fucking busy. And I've not got what I wanted to get done today done, to be quite honest. I should be wrapping presents right now, and I haven't got round to it. And there's stuff that I need to do. So it probably won't be this side of Christmas. But I will be back. I've got ideas for another DVD stroke VHS overview, which should be quite interesting. We'll try and get some of the toy reviews, but that'll probably be in the new year. Not sure if there'll be an FU list this time around. I know it's sort of an annual thing that I've been doing, which it was a good idea to start with, but I think with a lot of the previous ones, I seem to be repeating myself, and you know, the content really isn't any different from the year before a lot of the time, or from rants that I've done in the previous year. I mean, I could have saved this rant and done it as part of an FU list, but I just wanted to get this out here really and get it done. So at the time of recording this video, I don't see there being an FU list. There may be something in its place, I don't know what yet, but I really don't think I've got enough new stuff to rant about really. Let's go in that video. No. Bloody cold. So yeah, I think I'm starting to bloody ramble now, which is not good. So ta-ta for now, and catch you on the flip side.